We are back. We are back. Everyone's shopping for their therapist right now. Told Jessica Johnson yesterday, I rolled up on her right after her session, and I said, so do you take community choice health insurance? Like, first, let's just figure out, do you take my insurance, right? She said no. So I said, so sad. Anyway, so I am still available for therapists, like this is a matchmaking. Let me go ahead with this program, okay? All right, so now you all are here for a practical look at holistic mental health. Everybody here for that one? All right. I'm not gonna make y'all move, but I was like, let's get closer, but y'all sit where y'all wanna sit, okay? All right, so is Nadie here? All right, Nadie. Didn't I talk to you yesterday about Game of Thrones? So my first introduction, she has a bio. I'm going to give you this one. But how we met, since we are familiar. She came afterwards yesterday for the happy hour at Finn Hall. And she walked up and I said, hello. And what was the first thing I said? Do you watch Game of Thrones? I skipped all of the what's your name? Because I found this group for Game of Thrones anyways. But she is here to support us. And she is the owner of a growing boutique online counseling practice in Houston, Texas. And as a licensed psychotherapist, she focuses on providing therapy and holistic wellness experiences to busy, burnt out people pleasers. Ooh, is that speaking to somebody right now? Ooh, hurt my feelings. To teach them how to prioritize their wants and needs without losing the relationships they value. She's also host of the Generation Freedom podcast. So give it up for Nadie as she comes to the stage. I think she's got her stuff up here. And anybody who was just here for the main stage, oh, I like it. What? You didn't dance? Oh, she's dancing now. And then for anyone that was here main stage just at our previous session, we are going to have another round, another great opportunity. But for those of you who are new, our additional person joining to the stage, Mayra Figueroa-Clark, and she is a traumaologist, the therapist for therapists, as well as a clinical psychotherapist and founder of Your Restoration Place. She's a certified clinical trauma professional trained in eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, and meditation with her own private practice in Washington, D.C. Give it up for Mayra because she's got gusto. I like that word that you use.
I think it's on. Hello. Hi, everybody. She already introduced us. I was going to kind of give a little bit of an introduction, but I didn't realize we were going to get like the whole intro. So we're going to talk to you guys about holistic wellness, a few definitions and a few ways to see it, as well as hopefully leave you with a few practical tips. And I think Mayra's going to close us out with another lovely somatic experience this time. So if you were just here in the last one, you'll get to do something similar.
Yes.
Again?
Something similar, yes.
All right. So I'm very excited. So I want to start with who's in the room. I keep seeing therapists. I keep seeing like mental health professionals. So who in here is already a therapist or in the mental health field?
Beautiful. Those are mi gente.
Several. And anybody like healthcare or like something adjacent to mental health? Okay.
Yes.
Stunning. And then anybody unfamiliar outside, I don't know anything about holistic wellness. I'm here to learn it all.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
All right. Outstanding. Okay, so that gives us a little awareness of who we're working with. So I wanted to start by asking Mayra to define for the people wellness or holistic wellness, if you can, to at least give us a little foundation.
Yeah, so holistic wellness or holistic treatment is mind, body, and soul. It's really that simple, but not easy. Yes?
Not easy.
right? Because it's simple. You put one foot in front of the other, but when you're running a marathon, it's not easy, right? So that's basically what it is. It's just this this opportunity for you to understand what's happening here is affecting what's happening here, and it's affecting what's happening here, right? So it is this incredible, what I call horizontal and vertical relationship with self, with people, with food, with body, with air, with water, right? It's this constant relationship with it. How would you define it, Nadie?
So I talk to clients in a few different ways about wellness. So one of the things that I like to say is that it's a process to start with. It's not sort of like a static destination that I'm trying to get to, like I'm trying to get to well. It's always going to be a process that's growing and changing. So always thinking of it as a journey, and the next step, I think, is like a really important way to begin looking at your well-being. And we're going to kind of get into a little bit about self-care and kind of like some misconceptions and how we see self-care, but you might want to use those words interchangeably. Thinking about self-care as wellness, wellness as self-care, wellness as a journey. And for me, when I think about holistic wellness, I teach my clients about like all the dimensions of wellness. Like, have you guys ever seen like a wellness wheel where it's like, you know, the 8 different like physical, emotional, blah, blah, like those sorts? I teach my clients 12 different dimensions. I think typically it's 8, but physical wellness, emotional, of course we know those, but then there's also, to me, creative, there's spiritual, there's, we can say mental and emotional. I might call those two separate dimensions, sexual, all the financial, intellectual. I think there's a few different areas that we could really pour into to be able to look at ourselves in a more holistic way and not just my body, cool. Some of us, you know, just now understanding that we need to get to our minds and maybe spiritual, but I think there's more options and more ways. I don't think you necessarily have to do every single one, but I think there's just more ways to like look at your well-being to be able to find that health and wellness and overarching balance.
Yeah, and on that, there is not only being, the word balance means that everything should be equal, and not everything is equal. And so I like to use the word harmony or harmonious, right? Because there are times, like I was in school, anybody in college, where you are doing your finals and you are not sleeping or eating or anything, you're just doing your finals. And then that's a season, right? That's a season of your life that is very intense in one area, but it's not necessarily balanced and you can't sustain it. But it's a season, and you know, like it's just gonna happen for this period of time. I'm raising children with my husband, and it's a season. Soon they'll be on their own, and hopefully, I'm not raising their children. It's seasonal, right? And so, always understanding that there are times in your lives where you have higher stress levels, and it's how you deal with that high stress level. It's how you manage that high stress level. I love when my sister said it is a journey, because that's the way I walk my clients. I say to them in our first session, I say, hi, welcome. This is your sacred space. And I'm on this journey with you. You have a backpack that I would like to look into, but only when you're ready. And sometimes we're going to get through this journey and we're going to find something in the backpack that's going to make you feel really uncomfortable. It's up to you whether you want to put it back or do you want to really look at it. And sometimes we're going to get to a hill that's going to be really hard to get in. I'm telling you, I have the equipment to help you get over that hill. But it's your hill, and I'm only there to support. See, you're your expert. I'm not the expert. I know you came thinking I was. I'm not. You know you. You know you better than I would ever know you. So you tell me where you want to go on this journey and how you want to get there. That's how I start every session. Why? Because we have been told how to be well. No one says, oh, what's the advice? Well, here, you got to be a vegan or vegetarian. You're going to have to wake up every morning at
No
5
shade.
a.m.
No shade to vegans and vegetarians.
No shade. I mean, my closest friends are vegans. But you got to be a carnivore and only eat meat. Fruit is garbage. You know, but it's, you are your expert of you. And when you get agency of your body and in your mind and in your journey, then you start figuring out, I do like being a vegan. I do like being a I do like waking up at 5 a.m. and watching the sun rise.
I love eggs, and they make me feel good.
Right.
Make me feel good.
It should be your agency, your decision, your body, how you get to your healing journey.
I agree. So I want you to share a little bit more, like, from when you think about the mental health side of your well-being, and kind of how, if we think about holistically, how that sort of ties into our physical health a little bit, or how it's just health. You know, we say mental health is health, mental health is health, mental wellness is wellness. How do those two connect?
Okay, so anyone here know someone who has high blood pressure or hypertension? Right, yeah, we all probably know someone, right? Some of us are raising for self. It's okay, I'm not asking. We have now information that these are inflammational or inflammatory diseases. These inflammatory diseases usually are inflamed through stress or stressors. And so now we're treating high blood pressure with the pill, right? Everybody say yes, right? But we're not treating
The stress that caused it.
And so if you go into a medical doctor and you're saying, I have a headache and I can't sleep and I don't know, oh, well, your blood pressure is a little risen and you could take Tylenol for your headache and here's a sleep aid. But how about the fact that you're going through a divorce? How about the fact that your mother just died? How about the fact that you just found out your daughter is suicidal? How about those things? Your doctor's not asking those questions. But those are the factors that we hold on to these emotions. And then the pressure of your heart, high pressure, high blood pressure, high pressure. Look at the name, hypertension, tension. What is it saying to you? What are those words saying to you? Heart attack. It's something is attacking the heart, the emotional being. Understand, there's this great doctor, Gabor, Dr. Gabor. Please look him up. Yes. And then he has a book. It says, When the Body Says No. Not when the body keeps score. I know that one. When the body says no. Look it up, read it, watch him. He's amazing. But he talks about how the body tells you to stop and we still keep going. And we wonder why we're getting all of these diseases. So medical health is mental health. And when you, next time you go to your medical doctor, I ask you.
Challenge them.
Yes.
Challenge them.
Yes. And say, hey, I just lost my mom. I haven't slept in 3 months.
Do you think that could be contributing to the issue?
Maybe.
It's unfortunate that it's sort of, it's our responsibility, in a lot of ways to advocate for ourselves. And especially as people of color, they're killing Black women left and right in the hospitals and having babies and things like that. So it is our responsibility to really advocate and do our research and know what are some potential underlying causes of things. Because there's plenty of stories. I have several friends that I've even experienced where you go to the hospital for something drastic and maybe they can stop the thing from happening, but nobody's wondering, like, I don't know why that happened to you. How strange. How odd. I don't know. So you have to dig deeper and ask more questions. So it is, again, our burden to really look at ourselves more than just the symptom, one symptom here, one symptom there, and look at ourselves as a whole picture, right? So another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys, I alluded to it earlier about your self-cares. and taking care of yourself. And we, in the workshop, the self-care workshop yesterday, one of the ladies that spoke, she was like, sit down. You need to sit down. Rest. You need to rest. And again, when you're looking at yourself as a full picture, all these different parts of me, it's really important to realize I'm being drained from this stress. Oh, like you said, my mom is sick. You know, my job is this. I just got promoted, so now I got all this responsibility. My kid going to college next month. We got to buy this. Like, you have a lot going on. So it's important to really be intentional and take time to take care of yourself. And sometimes we think of self-care as an indulgence. And, oh, well, I can go get my nails done, but that's selfish, mom guilt. That's selfish. I shouldn't do that. I think the truth of it is that the self-care is really required, because it's kind of like what they tell you when you get on an airplane, right? You got to put your mask on before you can help somebody else. If you're running on empty, if you're running on fumes and you're supposed to be like the manager, you're the boss, you're the supervisor, you're the parent, you're in charge of something, you're taking care of people some kind of way, but you have nothing else to give. What typically happens to you when you're running on empty, but you're still like not saying no to things or not taking a break? What happens to you? What comes to mind? Say it. Burnout. What happens to you and the other person, the people that you're interacting with? Maybe I'm mean to them. Maybe I'm irritable. Maybe I forgot something really important. I forgot an important thing my kid wanted me to do because I'm not taking care of myself. And now it's affecting the people that I care about, that I say I care about. And I can't say no to them, right? Because I have to take care of them. But then look what happens. I'm tired. I'm too exhausted. I can't remember. And now I'm being mean. Now I'm hurting their feelings, but I say that's why I can't stop. We see the cycle here, how that's going in the wrong direction. If you were to take some pauses, take a little break, maybe you take 10 minutes and do your breath works. Maybe you take 5 minutes in the morning to, make sure you get grounded and center yourself. Maybe you take your walk. Maybe you eat something a little more nutritious today. Keep your mind clear. You might be more productive if that's what you want. You might be kinder. You might be able to do more than you're doing now without burning out because you're taking care of yourself. Does this make sense?
I have to ask someone here who has. I lost my readers, so I can't read anything. Please. Anyone seen their have pink tint? Okay. Anyways, seriously, I lost them here. She did. If you have an app, a Bible app, and can you look up Psalm 23 for me and read the first few verses? It's my mom.
Somebody knows it by heart.
So if anyone knows it by heart, I would love it.
Say some of y'all are holy people. Some of y'all know by heart.
If you know it by heart, that'd be great.
Say
Psalm 23. Say that again. Wait, sis, come on, don't do that. Don't rush a scripture. Don't rush a scripture. Come close. Come. Okay.
I can hear you.
The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valleys and the shadows of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. They prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
Right there. Okay, y'all
knew it.
I want you guys to hear the words of this scripture, right? He says, I make you lie down in quiet pastures. Like my sister said, green pasture. Well, I do NIV. I know it's different.
She said,
green water,
still water,
yellow,
still water.
Look, we still,
yes.
okay?
Yes.
I lay you down to be still, right? In your stillness, I will restore you. Listen, I will protect you with my rod. Listen, y'all, are you listening? Are you hearing? Because we are not told that. Anyone who looks like me is not told, if you are still, I got you. I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, I got you. I got you.
You know, right? Just earlier in the generational trauma workshop, y'all were mentioning, trying to start the conversations with your families and like get them to see me for who I am now as this new enlightened person. Some of y'all's families say you don't need a therapist, you need Jesus. Some people of color don't fully, we're not quite there, and we need to pray, and it's God. But like, it's also in your Bible already. You could just point them to your grandmother's favorite
That's
scripture.
what I do all the time. I
could
say,
point them-
God is the first psychologist. Stop playing.
It's already been mentioned. It's already been discussed. So if you need to whip the Bible out on them, you're welcome to do so. So, yes.
And in that being still, it is frightening because if we're going back to the generational trauma, if you have the tag, I talked about having an epigenetic tag on your DNA to be adaptive to not trusting people or being angry or being full of rage. If you have that tag, being still means danger, right? I mean, my ancestors that were picking caña, sugarcane in Puerto Rico, they couldn't stay still. If they stay still, they got killed. So we don't know how to stay still. We don't know how to sit down.
Right. Sit down. She said, sit down. Yes. No, it is really important, but it is scary. So I do encourage people to start small. You don't have to, I think a lot of times we get in our heads, like you come to a thing like this and you're like, all right, I'm gonna start taking care of myself. Okay, I'm gonna be running 3 times a week and I'm gonna make green smoothies and I'm gonna journal and I'm gonna meditate every day. And I don't think you need to take it that far to start with, especially if you're new to the game. Give yourself, your 5 minutes and see what comes up. And that's what I did for the day. That's it. And start there and let it grow on its own. And like she said, your needs are different. They're not only different, per person, but they're different by day. You may not need the same amount of care as you need, when you're going through heavy stress as when things are pretty good. You might need a little less. Maybe you can shift it around. So just keep that in mind. You can be flexible. Any little bit that you do is going to help. What makes the difference is the intention behind it. So even if you went and you just got your nails done and that was supposed to be something special, but you didn't come out feeling any particular way, maybe when you go get your nails done, you tell yourself, all right, this is my time. Maybe this is my time. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to put my phone on silent. I'm only going to be here half an hour, and I'm really going to just enjoy. That would be different than just running in, walking in on the phone the whole time. Oh, yes, girl. Oh, hold on. I'm going to be there tomorrow. Yeah. 15 minutes. All right. Yeah. Could you, that's not the same energy as, you know what? So the intention behind the activity really does change the purpose. It changes the effect. So keep that in mind. It can be small. So I did want to give y'all a couple of things. We wanted to do the same thing, have a good amount of time to answer questions and talk about individual things. We have a good amount of time. I was thinking about noon. We can pause and start asking some questions and give you enough time to do the activity. So I wanted to give y'all a few things to be able to work with. I mentioned those 12 dimensions. So I'm going to list them out to you so that you can, start looking at those areas and see like, how much do I pour into this? So to list them out real quick, if you got your pens and paper. So we already said physical, mental, emotional. Most of us know those. I would like to add environmental, occupational, yes, social, financial, cultural, your cultural wellness. Look at us, Melanin Minds. Your cultural wellness is being fulfilled today. Intellectual, creative, spiritual, and sexual. Because we can't forget.
No, we can't.
All important. So I want to give y'all those so you can take some time, whenever you get a moment, kind of assess, take a little assessment, take a little survey and think about, are there different ways that I pour into these areas? And we can chit and chat and share QR codes and stuff. I can give you some worksheets and handouts and, quizzes and things to work with to do that. And then the other thing is practices. So we did breath work to start the whole conference today. I was about to say retreat because this fella, I was like, start the retreat
like
today.
A retreat, right? Y'all?
I was really about to say the word retreat. But to start the conference, we did breath work, which is a beautiful practice. As mentioned, shout out to Mel. Shout out. But there's a few others that I think you might want to take some time for. So journaling, very popular. We've got some journaling vendors up front.
That's right.
I think journaling is a beautiful way to express yourself in writing, in drawing, handwriting, typing, any kind of way that you get your thoughts out and put them on a page and get them out of your body. Play. Somebody mentioned something. They didn't use the word play the other day. Somebody said childish. Was it childish? I feel like a few people have been saying the word childish. I think you said it. Some people, a few different people have said childish, but because play is important. Even as an adult, and we forget that we need to have fun. I'm a laugh all day. Me, myself, even in sessions, I have to apologize. I'm always like, girl, that's not funny. But now
it is.
that's out of hand.
But it is.
It is. I like to laugh, and I really think it's so important that we forget we get so serious with all the things that we have going on that we forget to lighten the load and just have some levity to things and enjoy. So I would encourage play as a practice, meaning regularly, as well as meditation and mindfulness. Like if you pray, you know how to meditate. Taking some quiet time, either reflecting on a thought or writing something, sitting still, like we said, for a few minutes, taking a walk and paying attention to what's outside. If anyone's ever tried or told a client the 5 senses method, I think that's a beautiful way to do some mindfulness and meditation, meaning, clocking 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can touch just while you're out in your office or walking, taking your dog out, whatever the case. And then also I will suggest affirmations and gratitude. Both of these practices are extremely important and extremely beneficial. Affirmations specifically, the same way that we receive messages from people our entire life where we think that, for example, something as simple as like, I'm not that funny. People will say a thing kind of offhand, like, oh, I'm not really that funny. I'm not really that social. Sometimes it's just because like people have told you that for a long time or like told you something about yourself, like you're bougie. So I guess I'm bougie. Like people have been telling me that for always. Affirmations work similarly. The same way somebody can tell you something 1,000 times, you can tell yourself something 1,000 times, and it will also start to change the connections in your synapses and start to allow you to believe it because you've just said it a lot. So put your sticky notes up on the wall, like what was the show? Mary Jane. Put your little sticky notes up. Make your little Canva backgrounds on your phone. Make your little Canva backgrounds. Put your little desktop background up on your laptop. Affirm yourself in different things that you want to change the belief of, whether it's in life, whether it's your self-concept, whatever it may be. You can do the exact same thing. And then lastly, add to it. I said gratitude. I said gratitude as well. Gratitude is the last thing. I think, again, regular practice, because sometimes we get so lost in how terrible everything is and how stressed I am and I'm on the hamster wheel. We forget to be grateful for whatever little things, being alive, breathing, being beautiful. Like, oh, at least I'm not ugly. Like whatever you're grateful for. But the more that you do it, it just helps you sort of like change perspectives. And Catherine said yesterday, reframe situations and see them a little differently. Because now if I'm remembering that I have something to be grateful for, maybe I can adjust how I'm approaching this whole thing. Like maybe it's not as bad as I'm saying. I got this other stuff. This sucks here. It does. But maybe I don't have to see the whole thing as crumbling down. So those are your practices. Absorb.
You took notes? Yes. Okay. I want to remind you that there is this hormone inside of us, but there's a lot of good hormones, and dopamine is one of them. And one of the things that I teach my clients is how to do dopamine drips. Like we have a whole pharmacy right in here. Y'all know?
Hello.
Little, you don't need to get high. You don't need an
For
edible.
those of you that enjoy drugs.
Yeah, if you don't.
You got
You don't
some.
need weed. God gave it to us. It's all in here. And so, when my sister talks about doing all of these things, if you do little things, micro decisions, micro choices, if you decide I'm just gonna wake up every day and make my bed for 2 months, that gives you a dopamine drip. It allows your body to be like, oh, you go, girl. Look at that bed. It looks so cute. And then it gives you the animal, the oomph to do more. It allows you this, it's almost like a brain hack or a psychological hack. It allows you to continue to do good for you, to continue like, okay, well, I can make my bed now for 2 months. Now I'm going to start eating a salad.
Momentum.
Right.
Start building
Every lunch, I'm going to have me a salad. Now I'm going to add on and add on. It's like that journey, one foot in front of the other. But it doesn't, see, micro steps. So baby steps are here. Micro steps are this.
Even smaller.
Like teeny. Like so small. You could get frustrated, but eventually I'm going to get to the edge of the stage, right? I'm going to get there. But sometimes we try to take the big step and we fall off and we say, oh, that don't work.
Right. And I'll never do it again.
Let me just stay right here in my little comfort zone because that stretch zone doesn't work. So what we're asking you to do is take these things and do tiny, tiny steps. So just take 1 second and write down, what is your micro decision? What is your micro decision?
And
that
if,
you're
and
gonna
if you
take?
write down every day, you're wrong. That's incorrect.
Just
When you
small.
write it down, if
Right.
you said every day, that's wrong. Cross it out.
So anybody has a micro decision they want to share?
What comes to mind?
What's a micro decision you like to share?
I like the making my bed idea. I don't know about everybody else, but when I
She
get
likes
up,
the making the
I'm
bed
leaving.
idea.
Like I'm going about the rest of my day. After I've done scripture, we're done. I'm never seeing my room again. So just the idea of something as simple as making your bed, because I don't do it, it makes sense to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna do that one.
Okay,
love
micro
that.
decision will make your bed.
Not checking my phone the moment I wake up.
Oh.
Not checking the phone the moment you wake
Yep.
up. Mm-hmm.
And
Not
now
bad.
that you have a micro decision, here's the other part of it. I want you to be forgiving of yourself when you don't make your bed or when you look at your phone, right? Because that's the part of it as well. Is that
We're
we
gonna
make-
commit to not self-sabotage.
Exactly.
We're gonna come. I'm not
like
gonna
it's, oh, I
self-sabotage.
can't even make my bed every day.
I'm the worst.
Oh
I'm
my
the worst.
gosh,
I'm the
just
worst there ever was.
Oh my gosh, I keep looking at the phone. I can't forget it.
I'm a bad person because I didn't do this one thing.
Yeah,
Try it again tomorrow, please.
That's right.
Just try again tomorrow.
that's right.
It's new.
So Mel, how much time do we have?
10 minutes.
Oh, we
Want
have
to do some questions? Yeah.
plenty of time. Questions, thoughts. I it's hard for me to sit down.
Yes,
Psalm
sir.
23 is not my scripture.
Please. Yes, sir.
Just for people who've never done affirmations, if you go on YouTube, there are cultural specific affirmations for men and women that you can just let play to start your day. I lost my job last year and I had a very tough time, and that's what kind of kept me waking up and trying to start my day every day. But just listen, it's 15 minutes, just listen to it. There's affirmations for Black men, and it put me in a different space that I probably would have been in the opposite had I not had it. So
That's really helpful. That's really helpful. The YouTubes, the Spotifys, your Apple Musics, you can find, a meditation for a specific problem, for a specific type of person, or affirmations, especially if you're new to either of those things. I think that's a great idea. Get your YouTube, play your things, and you can just type in for anxiety. It could be for confidence. It could be for financial growth. Literally, somebody's made a video, somebody's made an affirmations list for it.
Just plugging one of our vendors. She has affirmation cards.
Hey, thank you so much.
Vendors.
Up there. And there's journals up there too.
And there's journals. We have a journal vendor, y'all. So after this, grab a journal, get some affirmation cards.
Yes. I think, so for me, sometimes affirmations can feel not applicable at the time. Sometimes I feel like weighted, and I'm like, sunshine rays and butterflies ain't cutting it right now. And sometimes I think, and I even tell people that truth affirmations are okay. I am overwhelmed. I do a lot. I am tired. Like, even that is like, yes, you deserve to tell yourself that you are tired. So that way you could say, oh, because I need rest. Oh, I'm overwhelmed because I'm doing too much. Let me calm down. Let me relax. I think sometimes people think that we have to tell ourselves, like, that false positivity sometimes.
Toxic positivity
Yeah,
vibe.
that toxic positivity, instead of saying, like, how can I sit in my truth and what I'm honestly going through at the time, and then work myself through the positivity.
I love that. I love that.
I
It's
like that a
okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. Because if I asked you, hey, how you doing? You would say,
Fine.
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. You? How you? I'm good. Meanwhile, you not good. You not okay. So it's okay. People hated this when I worked in a regular job. I would go to work and I would always be my authentic self. And so we'd be like, good morning, Mayra. How are you doing? Overwhelmed. I'm tired. I'm sad. I miss my mom. I'm feeling grief today. And they're like, you want coffee? Like, right? But imagine if we talk to each other like that. I didn't need your help. I don't want therapy. I'm just letting you know how I'm doing. I'm just being honest. Can I just be honest? Can you be honest? How are you? Can you take off that mask? Can you tell me that you didn't sleep last night because you were worried about your husband?
I like that. I would make a slight tweak to it. If you're going to acknowledge, real feelings, I think that is absolutely necessary. And then so that you don't get lost up under them, or they don't become all you're thinking about all day, and we're not trying to either feel a little bit better, even if we can't do nothing about it, or just get grounded in like whatever it is that you want to accomplish for the day. I would recommend coming behind it with your affirmation. And also, with the affirmations, I think you're right. Sometimes they can be a little much. I tell people that they need to be true. So like it can be something aspirational and like something you want to be when you're thinking of affirmations, but I do think they're a lot more effective, and our brains will associate and assimilate to the thought better if it's true, already true. So something to the effect of, you know what, I'm a businesswoman. Like, some of us that or entrepreneurs and stuff are like, oh my God, I'm struggling and this is hard and whatever. But you know what? I'm a businesswoman already. I own a business. You can do this. Like something to where it's something that's actually happening. I don't love where I'm at right now. My skin's not good. My psoriasis is acting up. But you know what? I'm taking care of it. I'm starting the steps. It's not good right now. I'm acknowledging that. I don't like it. But I got my medication. I got my creams. I'm eating different. It's gonna change. Something along those lines, if that makes sense. True, so that you don't get up under all the feelings, because we do have quite a spectrum of.
Well, a lot of times, I think, and you reminded me of this before, it's just like, slow down. Maybe that's why you're overwhelmed, trying to do too much all at the same time. And I think for me, it's not only the realization or the awareness that I need to slow down, but why? Why am I overwhelming myself? Or what is going on in my life that's so stressful that I need to slow down? So to me, I think coupling it with showing myself grace, the realization, all of that has become a form of positive affirmations for me. Is being able to connect with myself and like go from there, if that makes sense.
I think that's super helpful.
You said something earlier where you help people unpack, or you start with the book pack analogy. What happens when a person doesn't have good self-awareness, or there's a lot of outside noise that has caused you not to truly know yourself, or you're not quiet enough to have the honesty that you need to start even the conversation or the process of healing? Because I see, that with a lot of the clients I have, they lack self-awareness about who they are. And so I can't even move forward sometimes with helping them because they won't stop long enough to do that quiet work. So it's hard, so I just wanted your perspective on that.
I love that. And did you have?
I have something to go.
Okay. I love that because I think it's true. I think we do find clients who, like I said, it's hard to sit down. We start with 1 minute every session. We start with 1 minute, and I put a timer on. I had one client who was also a therapist, right? So I do therapy for therapists. So 80% of my clientele are also mental health professionals. So she was just like, I hate this quiet. What you mean? Relax, my neck, can we just get to the work? And I would always go, this is the work.
This is the work.
This is the work. So we start out with 1 minute. And I force them. I say, just try it. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else. I've been in the business for 28 years. I have techniques coming out of the yin yang. Like I could do a technique, 15 techniques in 1 minute right now. So let's try this one. See if that works for you. If that doesn't work, let's try this. But we start with 1 minute at a time. If that's too long, which a minute is a long time, y'all. It's a long time when you're trying to be still. If that's too long, we'll do 30 seconds. It's, for me, as a somatic therapist, I work with the body. And so if you're showing, and that's the part 2, if we're having a conversation and you're showing me anger, right, with your face, you're like, yeah, I love my husband. He's the best thing in the world for me. I'm going to say, wow, notice your brows. I saw your jaw tightening out. What was that about? Because sometimes we don't even notice what we look like. We were saying, I'm fine. Nothing wrong with me. I'm good. You got a resting itch face, right? You're not fine. And it's okay. You don't got to be fine. You don't come to me being fine. But it's okay. What I noticed your jaw tightened. Did you notice? You just swallowed really hard. Look at your body language. You shifted to the left. I had one client do this. I didn't move, but I was talking about her past, and she literally, and I said, it feels like you're running from me. Oh, no. I mean, you're fine. I'm good. You're fine. You're not good, baby. And it's okay. You don't have to be good. I just dug out some old skeleton. It smells bad. So let's deal with it. And let's understand. So self-awareness is having someone in your life as well to say, hey, I know you say this, but every time you say that, you cross your legs. I'm just wondering if that could be. Yeah. So it's somatic and it's practice as well, those micro decisions. Does that help?
I was going to say, kind of in line with what you're saying right now, that even if it's a friend or a family member, but, of course, a client across from you, I would mention it. Like if you notice a thing, but you notice that they don't notice, I might ask, do you know that every time we start talking about this, your legs start to going? It wasn't doing it before. I just wondered if you noticed, for them to start to see oh. Like those little things are like every time you mention your mom, you say this, and this. Like, do you notice that? That would be an approach. I feel like, again, with friends or family or a client, whoever.
Or a good therapist. I'm going to plug therapy until it's out. Y'all get a good therapist.
Well, we only have 2 minutes.
How did it go from 10 to 2? What happened?
So it went from 10 to 2.
No.
Quick. So
my
maybe
activity's
that'll
at
be
least
our last
5.
question. Okay, give him what you can.
Can I do an activity, or you guys really have a burning question? I'd rather do
whichever y'all
what
prefer.
you want. You guys, anyone has a burning question that they want?
Or do you want her to do her thing? No, let's do
activity.
Let's breathe. I want to breathe.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I am gonna. Anyone heard of the vagus nerve? Yeah. Yes, not Vegas, like woo ooh. No, VAGUS, not VEG. Right, it's not Nevada. You ain't gambling. Okay. Our vagus nerve is this nerve that comes from the top of our brain, and it's the only nerve in our body that touches all of our organs. If we could regulate our vagus nerve, then we could regulate our body and our emotions. I'll be quick, I promise. I feel you eyes looking at me.
She said, don't let us stress.
You're stressing my vagus nerve. And so today I'm going to give you an activity that would activate and relax your vagus nerve if you give me permission. So if you would uncross your legs and your hands. The other thing you should know is that your right side of your brain controls your left limbs. Did anyone know that? And the left controls your right limbs. And so if you cross your legs during an activity, then you miss out on the actual effects. So it cuts it off, y'all. So I just want you to, if you could put your hand on your lap, on your knees, and we're gonna do activated breathing, and it's gonna feel weird, and it's okay. If you yawn or sigh, I want you to do it openly, right? Because it's gonna happen. We're gonna bring oxygen in, we're activating. So you're gonna breathe in through your nose very quickly, and you're gonna blow out. So it's gonna feel like, I want you to do this 15 times. If you feel lightheaded, I got you. I got you. You're gonna feel lightheaded, you're gonna feel tingly, or you may wanna yawn. So we're gonna do this 15 times together. Did I say 15? Did I say 15? Okay, ready? And let's go. Close your eyes. Yes, find your own rhythm. Good. Notice your body, your face, your neck. Notice your shoulders. Notice your stomach. Good. If you feel dizzy, you can slow down or go push through it. Taking all that stress and pushing it out. Push out anger. Push out stress. Push out financial stress. The next breath, you're gonna hold the inhale. Hold as long as you can. And feel your body. Feel your heart. Feel your pulse. And when you exhale, slowly through your mouth like a tire going out of air, nice and slow. Now, if you would, put your hand on your heart, skin to skin if you can. Don't expose yourself, please. And I just want you to feel your body. Feel the heart. Know that you're here. Know that you're alive. Know that your body needs you. Know that your body's asking. Ask your body for what it needs. Ask your body for what it needs. Ask your soul for what it's looking for right now, not tomorrow, not later. What do you need right now? And if it's tears, if it's movement, if it's a yawn, if it's a stretch, if it's nurturing, I want you to gift your body what it needs. And when you are ready, and only when you are ready, you may open up your eyes.
Yo, that was fucking nuts.
Anybody want to share? My
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
It would be longer, but you know. This is an exercise to regulate you. One of the things I would have said is saying something to your body that says, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me. Or thank you, right? Because your body hears the voices that you give it and hears your self-talk. I've noticed some of you yawning. I noticed some of you crying. I want you to know that this is an expression of what your body needs. It's okay not to be okay. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And thank y'all for showing up for yourselves.
Yes.